Welcome, welcome to the final. Congratulations for making it this far. You guys are amazing. And there you go. There's what I was looking for. So the first thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners and their custodians of the lands on which UQ operates and pay respects to their ancestors and their descendants. I think that, as I said at the beginning of this whole process, I think that being able to bring diversity and bring as much richness into our history as possible within the context of the hackathon, which is all about bringing, solving some really wicked problems, is extremely important. And I'm very happy to be a part of an organization that talks and integrates that into all of the things that they do. This session is being recorded and posted on the Hackathon Slack channel for those teams that can't attend. If I could just ask everybody to make sure that they are on mute, that all of your, we can mute all of you. Olivia has the power to do everything needed. So if you could just make sure that all of your microphones are on mute. And we do have some staff that are going to be monitoring the chat during this event. So if you have any questions, they will make sure that there's time to answer any questions. And as I said before, please be aware, this is the first time we're running an online event. So I'm sure that there's going to be some hiccups along the way, and that's what makes imperfection makes everything so much more beautiful. So before we start, I'd like to introduce Jess. Jess is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Global Engagement and Entrepreneurship, and she is just going to say a quick hello and good luck. She is the lead for the development and the delivery of the entrepreneurship strategy at UQ, which includes the high-level oversight of the current programs, broadening the suite of student entrepreneurship activities available at UQ, and expanding links with local, national, and international entrepreneurship ecosystems. So Jess, please take it away.
Got to remember to unmute. You'd think that after many, many months of Zooming that we would learn how to unmute. So apologies, but thank you so much, Tia. And hi to everybody. I'd like to also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where we gather and meet, and pay my respects to elders past and present, and to extend an enormous congratulations to you all for getting through what was quite a grueling few weeks of our first virtual hackathon. Thanks to everyone who's attending our last and arguably most exciting session in the virtual hackathon. It seems crazy that it was 3 weeks ago since I was here kicking off this event. And it's amazing in that period of time how much has changed. So the pandemic crisis is still with us, and in some instances far more severe than it was 3 weeks ago. However, after seeing the outcomes of what you've created in just 3 short weeks, I think that we have every reason to continue to feel degrees of optimism and hope. The quality of your ideas, the speed of your execution, and the level of progress is truly impressive. This demonstrates that if we have a challenge, a problem, or a crisis, that nothing is impossible when you bring together talented groups of individuals with multidisciplinary perspectives. We're lucky at UQ and with our partner universities that we are surrounded by such incredible students who are not just smart, but dedicated to finding solutions to make the world a better place. And I honestly believe that it's through bringing together multidisciplines and different nationalities, different perspectives, that we will find a happier, healthier future for us all. I've reviewed some of the pictures in terms of the concepts that will be presented today, and I was amazed to see the variety of solutions that we've received. Everything from waste management, new innovative COVID tests, isolation controls, novel ways to maintain social distancing while keeping up with our day-to-day routines, how to save our social lives even when we can't physically meet, making sure that we protect our families, our friends, our mental health, and so many other great ideas. The hackathon was a full-on exercise packed with very informative and productive sessions. We started with more than 129 participants, had 9 live sessions, more than 80 mentor sessions, more than 100 check-in sessions, and there are 24 final pitches, and soon we'll find some winners amongst them. But I wanted to say that regardless of the outcome of the competition, I believe that you should all be incredibly proud of what you have achieved. for your participation, your dedication, for wanting to make a difference, and for trying something new, for being with us to actually to journey with us for this first virtual hackathon. We're grateful for your patience, for your commitment, and for your fantastic ideas. I encourage you to continue working to progress those ideas. This is really the beginning of your journey. And if there's anything that we can do in the ventures space to support that, please do not hesitate to get in touch with one of the team members. In the same way that we've created this fantastic event, we're entirely committed to continuing to support you with your entrepreneurial adventures. There are a whole wide range of programs starting over the next couple of weeks. So for those UQ students in the audience, make sure that you pop onto the Ventures website and have a look at the programs that are on offer, where you'll be able to take your ideas to the next level. We want you to stay connected. So if there are ideas that you see today and you want to be connected to the founders or the teams to help with kind of fleshing those out or continuing those, please get in touch and we'll make sure that we can connect you. Keep up the great work. Don't stop reinventing, reimagining, repositioning what the world can look like. Big congratulations from me. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to extend an enormous thanks to the team within Global Engagement and Entrepreneurship, particularly the Ventures team, but also a number of others that have supported across the office. This has been, as I said, a mammoth effort, and many people have put in large numbers of hours to ensure that you all had access to those mental sessions and those check-in sessions. And I think that they've all done an amazing job. So on behalf of me, I extend my big thanks and congratulations to the team, but to everyone that's pitching today, best of luck, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jess. That was a great overview of everything that happened in 3 weeks. And geez, yeah, the world has definitely changed. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tia. I'm a new addition to the UQ Ventures team. I had the opportunity of working with some of the teams throughout the hackathon, and I'm really excited to see how the ideas have grown. And just to build on what Jess is saying, it definitely takes a village to raise a startup and to raise an idea. And it has been amazing to see all of the different, how much effort has been put into supporting everybody getting through, and we're really happy with the results. So just a reminder of why we're here to start off with. So the idea behind this hackathon was to be able to find solutions in some really important areas. And it's interesting to see how these areas have become more and more important as time goes by, and how your solutions have reflected those specific areas. So we had health, we had environment, we had people, we had employment, we had economy, manufacturing, services, and education. And it was also interesting to kind of see how most of you and some of the teams that are on the top were really focused more on the aspect of social distancing and of the trying to solve the problems around loneliness, and also trying to solve the problems around environment. So that was really, really good to see. And just to echo what Jess is saying, I hope you guys take the opportunity to continue working on these ideas past this specific hackathon. So I just want, as everyone else has said, but seriously, it is, you are all winners. Even though we are naming 3 winners and there is a People's Choice winner, it is quite the effort to be able to dedicate the amount of time that you have dedicated to bring your idea to the state that it is in. And I'm sure that there are other things that are happening in your life, and being able to spend that amount of time on it and bring it to the place that it is a massive effort. So thank you very much, and big congratulations to all of you for being able to do that. And congratulations, you're all winners. And if I didn't have a virtual background, I would squeak my dinosaur at you that would say congratulations too. So today, this is more or less the schedule. We're going to try and keep it to time. We are going to I'm going to introduce our judges very shortly, and then we're basically going to get right into the pitching. Each team has 3 minutes to pitch, and the judges are going to do the question and answer. They're going to ask the team some questions and answers. And after that, the judges are going to go and deliberate, and I'm going to entertain you with some songs, maybe a dance. I'm kidding. And we'll also do People's Choice via Zoom polling. And then the judges will announce the winners and final thanks. And we will all go on to our beautiful Friday afternoon. The People's Choice Award, which is chosen by you and by the many people that are on the Zoom call right now, It is a $50 Amazon gift card, as well as a merch pack. Oops, sorry, I didn't meant to do that. See, this is going to happen. A Ventures merch pack per member of the team. And I can tell you that the hoodies that we have, the Venture hoodies that we have, are in high demand. So I think that is going to be just as good as the cash prizes. So just very briefly, I'd like to introduce our judges. One of the things that always blows me away whenever I am involved with these events is to see the caliber of people and how people who have been extremely successful with all their endeavors are continuously giving back to those that are coming up through the ecosystem. And that's such a beautiful thing to see, and a beautiful thing to be able to contribute. So first we have Sarah Pearson, who is an internationally experienced open innovation practitioner, innovation ecosystem builder, a scientist, and an advocate for collaborative innovation and entrepreneurship in Australia. I can tell you that it took Liv a very long time to condense the amazing bios of these judges into one sentence. So Chris Saad, he lives and works across Brisbane and San Francisco. He is formerly the head of product at Uber development platform, and he's a serial entrepreneur, a strategic advisor, a product development and author, and a podcaster. And he also wins the prize for the best background in his on his Zoom. Dr. Kylie Henderson is a clinical psychologist and the founder and managing director of the Better Health Generation Australia and UK. The Better Health Generation is an organization of thought-leading health professionals bound together by the commitment to quality and care. And this is definitely a time for that to be able, that's quite a pertinent time for those for that specific venture to be existing right now. And last but not least is Yotam Rosenbaum, who's a co-founder and COO of Y Combinator startup earbits.com, which was acquired in 2015, a current venture partner at 77 Partners, which supports exceptional founders in Queensland, Australia, with deep funding, with early funding, deep mentorship, and global connections. So thank you very much to all of our judges who are participating in, who are spending their time in making sure that we choose the best winner. So very briefly, let's just remind ourselves what the prizes are. We have a third place will take home $1,000, and the second place is $2,000, and the first prize is $7,000, which I just got to say, those are quite high prizes and very impressive, and definitely are reflective of the amount of work that you have put into creating your idea. There are also industry rewards. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all of our industry partners, and a reminder of the rewards that they're offering to the teams. So Here Technology, the team with the best integration of Here service products will receive a Here swag pack valued at 200 Australian dollars. And Amazon Web Services, the winning team, will receive an Activate credit offer worth 5K USD, which right now is worth a lot of money. So, and the impact, we also, just to remind you that the ticket sales we were specifically, the revenues from the ticket sales we were putting towards donation for supporting the UQ COVID-19 vaccine research fund. So the impact is $1,086, which in the grand scale of things may not seem like a lot, but trust me, every little tiny bit counts. So thank you very much for that. So are you ready for the pitches? So just please make sure that all of the audiences, that everybody is on mute. The team has 30 seconds. We've already spoken to the team to make sure that they will, they'll get a notification from us in the Zoom chat. And if they go over 3:15, they will be muted. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to invite the first team to pitch. And Liv, do you know who the first team is that is pitching? I'm not sure who the first team is that is pitching. We didn't actually discuss that, which is maybe something that we should have discussed. So Bethany, your team is the first one that's pitching?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I can't actually see the chat. Let me just fix that. Okay, all right. So I am going to provide you with the ability to be able to share your screen.
Thank you.
1 second. I'm going to make you the co-host, and now you should be able to share your screen. Are you able to share? Oh, I have to stop sharing mine.
That's all right. I'm on it.
Done. Okay. Are you ready?
Just 2 seconds, just to align my mouse. Okay.
All right.
Three,
Three,
two,
two,
1.
one, go.
Masks, gowns, and gloves are the most important defense for our healthcare workers, and yet they are in short supply. The problem is without a functioning system that tracks the usage of personal protective equipment, PPE, healthcare workers have absolutely no idea what equipment their hospital actually has in stock, putting them in daily danger. In a recent worldwide survey with healthcare workers on the availability and use of PPE, at least one piece of standard PPE was unavailable for 52% of healthcare workers, and 30% reported reusing single-use PPE. This problem is why we created SmartStock, a global pre-seed startup founded on the premise that healthcare workers should not have to risk their lives to care for others. Having met on a ventures startup adventure in Israel, the SmartStock team bring a multiplicity of perspectives from their varying disciplines, but we all share a passion for entrepreneurship and innovation. We are here today with our solution to this major health crisis. Together, we've built an innovative inventory oversight system designed specifically for tracking and managing critical PPE on a global scale. Is floor 1 of your hospital running out of masks? Our analytics system will notify your staff before you run out, and it will also show you where stock is available on other available wards. Is your hospital running out of gowns? SmartStock will automatically place an order for you from your pre-approved supplier. As a subscription-based service, our business model is simple. We provide insight and oversight. We give hospital decision makers oversight about current PPE supply, consumption rates, theft, and floor-by-floor PPE distribution. We offer insights at a state and federal level to inform policy about national PPE inventory distribution on a hospital-by-hospital basis. Our web portal makes tracking PPE consumption a breeze. In just 2 clicks, you can mark a box of 50 masks as opened, and the system will handle the rest. This project has the ability to make a tangible and lasting difference in the community. Not only does SmartStock provide for the efficacious allocation of resources, it also ensures the safety of those at the front line. So what are people saying about SmartStock? A senior nurse confirmed that their current inventory system is very complicated. The smooth experience that SmartStock promises would be a refreshing change and make tracking our PPE much easier. SmartStock offers a simple, elegant system to track and distribute PPE. Together, we can harness the power of business automation to prevent healthcare worker deaths globally with SmartStock.
Amazing. Congratulations. Can I just get everybody to unmute and say, woo! That's the best way that we're going to. Excellent. Thank you.
Good
Okay.
job.
Judges, now is the opportunity for you to ask any questions.
Sure.
I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have a bunch of questions, but I'll try to keep it short. So I saw the UI in the video. I didn't see it today. I'm wondering who fills out that interface. Where are those interfaces placed? And how does it integrate with existing stock tracking systems?
So in your question, are you asking how we kind of integrate with other systems that currently already exist within government?
That's the last part of the question, but I'm also wondering who's the actual user that presses, hey, I opened a box, submit that, or I placed a box. Who's interacting with that, and what is the workflow of that?
Yeah, so that would be our healthcare workers, our clinicians. They're involved in that because obviously they have, on the ground knowledge. They're involved in opening the masks or opening the boxes that provide the masks. In terms of kind of integration, that is something that our team has thought about. And we've kind of thought that, yes, we would like our whole thing to be kind of integrated in what already exists. However, that kind of comes at the expense of like rapid deployment, which is what we're really trying to aim for. So the current system is very clunky, it doesn't function very well, and it's inefficient. So ultimately, you know, our main goal is providing that efficiency, and we feel that, you know, full integration or complete integration would be a compromise to what we're hoping to achieve.
Great.
Okay, and go for it.
Great pitch, first of all. My question, you know, you started the pitch by saying that some healthcare workers end up reusing PPE. And I guess my question is the main problem the ability to track better the PPE, or the fact that there's just not enough PPE? And have you looked into that?
Yeah, so I guess the problem that we're trying to look at encompasses those two things that you've discussed. So ultimately, the overriding problem that we're finding, you know, through our customer validation was that, yes, there is an overall problem with not enough PPE. However, some hospitals then have an additional problem, which is they might have some PPE, or they might have a lack of PPE, but they don't even know where it exists in the hospital. You know, we've even got kind of systems where, you know, hospitals are big places. So it might be that, you know, floor 1 has a plentiful supply, but floor 2, who's running through and having more kind of COVID cases come through the door, might not actually have access or knowledge of that kind of existing stock that exists. So I think ultimately the two questions that you've posed kind of play in together, that yes, there's an overriding issue with PPE supply, but the problem that we're trying to solve is, you know, if we do have that PPE, it needs to be more efficiently distributed around hospitals within Australia.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, Sarah here, just a well done, great pitch, and it's a really, really important problem to solve. Just a couple of things. One is check out a company called Tapaya. They're based in the Pacific, and they're looking at pharmacies and helping them with their sort of supplies like this. There might be some things you can learn from others that are doing similar things. Yeah. Your big challenge is going to be getting into the system. That's going to be a massive challenge, getting people to change their behavior and use it. And I'm questioning your business model. So how are you going to make money?
How are we going to make money? Is it all right if I quickly just share my screen again? I'm sorry. So ultimately, if I just go back to our pitch deck and very, very quickly go down to...
Just letting you know that you have probably about 1 more minute for this question, and then we're going to have to move on.
That's all right. So this slide here is ultimately how we plan on making money. So we're doing a subscription-based service that has ultimately 3 tiers that apply to that service. So, you know, some companies are going to be more interested in our data. Some companies are going to be more involved in it for the ease of access that it provides and the efficiency for it. So we're looking at kind of governments who might be looking at more of buying that data, as you can see here with our tier 3, where certain kind of access is, you know, negotiable, but it also allows for that scalability as well. But you've also got hospital facilities, you know, GP offices even, who are looking more at that tier 1, who like the efficiency and like being able to track their PPE usage. So that's kind of how we plan on making our money.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. My interest is in how we might predict as well.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Sorry, my interest is in how we might predict the use of these items as well within a hospital setting, because we know the number of patients, we know the frequency, the number of staff. Have you thought about that predictive piece and how that might be something?
Yep, I'm not sure if, sorry, I've just cut out a little bit there, but ultimately that comes into our business model. We really like the idea of having data analytics as very much the basis of what we're doing. So we don't want to just be tracking what's coming in and out. We also want to look at potentially, okay, floor 4 has 50 beds. What would that entail if all of those 50 beds were potentially full with COVID cases? Can we predict on the basis of last week's statistics and data what's going to be coming in next week? So that's kind of the overall aim. And there's obviously a lot more complexity that comes into that data and that potential kind of coding element and data analytics. But that's essentially what we're trying to do. Yes.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, judges, you're gonna have to keep your questions to a little bit less than that. I know that it's hard because there's such amazing ideas, but big thank you to the judges and big thank you to Smart Stock. So, woohoo!
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the next team that we have are the teams that are looking awesomely, they're looking very dressed up nicely. We have Ikari Dojo Bright Star, and we have William Watson, Jacinda Barrett, and Richard Roth. So are you guys ready to take it away?
Yep, we're just going to share our screen.
Not a problem.
You got audio going through as well?
Is that good?
Can they see it? Or
Yeah, we can see it.
hopefully?
Okay. So are you guys ready? Can we start the clock?
You start the clock.
All right, ready, go.
Mathematics education is outdated, resulting in discrete mathematics not being taught in primary or secondary school curriculums. This leads to students not developing an intuition for mathematics and having difficulty grasping concepts in critical fields such as computer science, information technology, and artificial intelligence. We are embedding discrete mathematics into a video game called Bright Star to teach young people discrete mathematics subliminally and impart a joy for mathematics to the next generation. Bright Star reimagines the education sector for the future by utilizing a video game as a medium for subliminal learning and bringing modern mathematics directly to young users worldwide. Edutainment is not a new idea, but it is a flawed design paradigm because it tries to turn outdated education into a game. We propose Entercation instead, putting game design first and creating an engaging, commercially successful product, then layering discrete mathematics concepts and problems on top. Bright Star is in the prototyping phase and would require an additional 3 months of development with the current team for a demo release on the Steam and Epic distribution platforms. Gamified discrete mathematics systems have been paper prototyped, sent to 7 discrete mathematics lecturers at UQ for educational validation and is in the early stages of digital prototyping. Bright Star is a science fiction game which explores themes of science solving problems, gender equity, and social justice. Gameplay includes management, quick decision-making, and moral choices. Realistic depictions of women in positions of power is also incorporated to encourage young women to pursue careers in STEM fields. User experience has been tested with a paper prototype. Ease of use is being explored with the digital prototype, and access to the game has been addressed with online distribution. Bright Star has the potential to reach millions of young people to teach critical mathematics intuition and skills which are not being taught in schools. It will also influence students to consider STEM fields as a career pathway. The game will be released to Steam and the Epic Store, which combined have 200 million users worldwide. Localization to other languages will also open access to markets in Europe, Asia, and eventually the entire world. Thank you for your attention. For more information, contact us by email or phone.
Amazing. Okay, everybody, please unmute yourself and go, woo!
Woo!
Well done, Bright Star. I always love seeing anything that
Good
has
job,
to do
guys.
with math and strong female leadership. So good. Judges, do you have any questions?
Do we want to go in the same order? That way it's easier to not step
Just
on each
maybe
other.
please keep them a little bit shorter if possible. Thank you.
All right, I have 2 quick questions. The first is the spaceships flying around at the beginning, is that actual gameplay? Because it like looks like EVE Online, but is that the actual game? And then the second question was, what's the business model? Is it free to play with virtual items, or is it you pay for the title, or what are you thinking there?
The game is split into 3 areas: strategic, operational, and tactical gameplay. Strategic is on an overworld level, such as Mount and Blade. Operational is like a story-based gameplay. And then tactical is spaceships blasting each other. Our business model is to release to the Steam store for sale. We're going to have a flat price. We're planning $40 AUD. which comes out to around 32, 33 USD.
Thank you.
You said that you did some testing with a board game. What have you learned from that?
We had a lot of ideas that we thought would work and be fun, and we tried it on our paper prototype, and they did not work at all. Mm-hmm. One of the systems which we had a lot of trouble crafting was the logical operation system. So formal logic in discrete mathematics uses certain symbols, and we use these in the action game, or the cards that the player plays, to create extra effects on the cards. The system we had before was way too complicated, so we broke it down to its simplest parts and then tested it on the paper prototype until it was feasible and playable.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So this is such an incredibly important piece to be doing, because we really need more people to be studying STEM. 75% of future high growth jobs need STEM. So if we want to be having good economies, we need it. I have a big question, though, because obviously I'm a woman in leadership, and I'm really trying to help women get into leadership. I want to ask you whether you've done any research around what will encourage women to use your platform, and I strongly encourage you to make sure that you do a lot of that study to get to really reach girls.
We have done a little bit of cursory research. The original plan was to only target males, but I was told by my coworker and others that in the modern world that's not acceptable. So no. I've gone to absolutely. I believe that strong female representation in video games is an important thing in 2020. So attracting girls to games is very complicated because women enjoy a different kind of genre. One thing we hope to address is a lot of female gamers love simulation, especially with characters and relationships. So we would like to integrate Sims-like aspect to the game, where girls can build relationships between characters. They can walk around, they can build rooms, they can fit out rooms, they can do like all this sort of stuff that you find in games that women enjoy.
Excellent. Well, I would just encourage you also to help men to see that women can be leaders in STEM. So that's an easy one for you. If you're going to go for the male market, make sure they can see that women are playing a key role in leadership in your games. I'm
ex-military from the Navy, and during my time of service, we had a huge push for female officers, and I can tell you, I had so many inspirational senior officers that inspired me, and that's part of the reason why I want to introduce this game to the world.
Great, thank you. Kylie, do you have one more quick question? And then maybe in the next round, we'll switch around that Kylie will go first, and then Sarah, then Yotam.
Look, just one quick question. I'm pretty amazed at how quickly this has come along in 3 weeks, to be honest. But what age are you kind of thinking this is targeted at?
So a lot of young people these days are starting to play games at 7, 8 years old. You look at the demographic of games like Fortnite, and they have a distribution of, on average, 14 to 16 years old. We are definitely targeting primary and secondary age students. So I think that is our primary market, and that is the kind of players that we will attract to this game.
I think then when we think about the business model, you've got a couple of customers then, haven't you? Because you've got parents who are going to be paying for this, as well in a primary school setting, and then you've got teenagers. So I kind of echo some of Sarah's comments about understanding that customer group a little bit more. But I think it's amazing what you guys have done in such a short time. So congratulations.
Amazing. Thank you very much to Ikari Dojo. Big round of applause. Yay! Okay, thanks guys. So now what we are going to do is we are going to move on to the third team, which is 3D Prac Labs. And the team members are James Dite, Anik Shukala, and Quentin Wright. I hope I pronounced that properly. I really apologize if I haven't. I'm just going to make you co-host, and you should be able to share your screen now. Are you able to share your screen? Amazing.
Can you guys see that?
You need to make it a little bit bigger. There you go.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, Liv, are you ready? You guys ready?
Oh, sure.
And
oh, sorry. Are we prompting it?
yeah, go.
Okay, yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We're 3D Prac Labs, and we're breaking down boundaries in science education by placing the power of the laboratory in the palm of your hands. So we're just going to start off with stating that STEM education is pretty tough with students learning at different rates. And if you couple that with the fact that lab practicals are typically a one-time deal with limited opportunities to revisit, retain, and understand the material they're learning, this can create a difficult learning experience for the students. So what if you could create and place the laboratory in the palm of the student's hand, allowing them an opportunity to explore and learn key STEM concepts at their own pace? And so when we were doing a little bit of research, we noticed that globally, Australia is kind of falling behind in STEM education, as indicated by the graph on the left. But we noted that recent developments in e-learning technology indicate that students have a superior retention in knowledge and concepts, prompting us to develop a virtual solution to a real-world problem. And so taking inspiration from academic research, video game design, and traditional teaching methods, we created biology and chemistry experiments aligned to the Queensland teaching standards that combine demonstration with a virtual lab experience, allowing students to explore and learn about these STEM concepts at their own pace. So we took this initial prototype out to educational specialists such as teachers and university professors to seek some initial feedback. And the responses we got were overwhelmingly positive, with teachers noting that it was engaging, effective, and it had the potential to enhance the STEM education experience. So seeking further market validation, we reached out to focus groups, teacher focus groups on Facebook. And as a result of this, we made more platform available to them last Monday. And then 48 hours since releasing the system onto to the users, we had 74 unique user visits with an average engagement time of 36 minutes. And of that group, 13% signed up to our platform, with a further 10% returning to experience the platform a second time. So when we took all that together, we felt that this platform addresses an unmet need in the current educational space. So with regards to scale up, we really look to the domestic market as our kind of inspiration for how to scale up. And the Queensland, using the curricula of both Queensland and Australia, we have a clear path to scale up our platform, creating a central teaching resource. With respect to income streams, we predict that our primary income stream will initially come from religious, state, and independent schools, both here locally and eventually nationally, with potential for other income streams and pivots towards potentially the tertiary education market, potentially to corporate partners with onboarding of workers and using virtual methods to educate, to textbook partnerships and virtual product demonstrations. And overall, what we just find is that COVID-19 has really just disrupted the traditional ways that we teach our STEM subjects, but it offers us a unique chance to innovate and democratize our teaching by placing the power of our platform in the hands of our teachers and students. And with that, we'll just say thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure to be here.
Amazing, thank you very much. Can we actually, big round of applause for 3D Prac Labs? Love the idea. Can we get the judges, and can we start actually with Kylie, please?
Well, I don't really have a big question on this one, but I'm just still thinking about the technology. When we're using it, is there a lesson going on? Is there audio, or tell me a bit more about that user experience.
Yeah, we can, we'll flick back while we're talking to you. So this, we didn't really get a lot of time to go through this, but yeah, James, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, so we've brought in the three different things here. So we've brought in storytelling. So for the biology practical, we've got a crime scene envisioned here. And then we also have the potential to bring in videos of us doing actual lab work along the side. And then what we hope to produce in the future is a sort of voiceover tutorial for teachers to sort of look at the practical that you see on screen here and walk them through it. But when the students are actually going to be engaging, they're only going to have this in front of them. They won't have the tutorial or anything like that. And then they can use the tutorial if they're struggling or something like that.
Yeah, thanks. It's really cool. It's pretty amazing, guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm similar. It's really fantastic. Absolutely love it. It's so important and valuable. If you think about what we're going through COVID and kids can't do their pracs. But I'd like to just add some bits, which is you might think of partnerships as a route to market as well, not just as a revenue stream, because you need to get into the schools and that's hard. And if you think about the online environment for unis and how it's global education now, don't forget unis, because I think you've got a big opportunity there as well. Well done.
Yeah, I'll just quickly chime in. We have spoken to unis, and the only problem with unis that we think is that they like the customization a little bit more, and then the school structure is very sort of, you know, standardized and easily scalable. So we'll try schools first. Yeah.
I guess I'll go next, if that's okay. Can you talk a bit about your competition?
Oh, so the competitors. So at the moment, in terms of 3D practicals, there's no competitors in Australia, that is. There's only 2D interactive competitors in this space. On an international scale, we have one unicorn in our space, which has Series B funding, and they're called Labster, and they're in Denmark. And recently, the Danish government made it mandatory that that Labster be used in secondary schools. So there is quite a bit of validation internationally. They haven't yet moved to Australia. So there is definitely an opportunity here for us to create Australian tools for Australian schools before this market really starts to blow up.
Yeah, thank you.
Last but not least, Chris, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I had two questions. Is it possible to mix anything with anything and you kind of like model out the reactions, or is it more scripted than that? And the other question I had was, have you considered going direct to consumers, direct to kids, because selling to schools, as Sarah said, is super hard, and you know, going direct to consumer is a much more kind of aggressive and fast growth strategy.
Yeah, so to answer your second question, we actually haven't considered the possibility of approaching, let's say, parents who want to homeschool. I haven't entirely thought through this thought yet, but there is, I suppose, quite a market to approach people who just individually want to use this product through, let's say, I don't know, Udemy or other platforms that are Coursera or other platforms that exist. And in the current iteration of our product, in terms of the prototype, it's very much that the flow of it is set in stone. And what we've heard from our teachers so far is that they want elements of error or, you know, something that's different. So when one student looks at their laptop and they look to their right, that the students, you know, don't do exactly the same thing. So they can't copy off each other. So we're looking to explore how we can put sort of dead ends into our practical and make it so that students can make mistakes and they can learn from them and, you know, step backwards and then find the good route forward.
Yeah, so just following up on that, so what we are doing is actually trying to build errors into the game simulations. And so how we do this is that we build 2 or 3 different scenarios depending on the choice that the student takes in the practical.
Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. A big round of applause, please. Yay! Okay, so we have 2 more teams to go. So what I'm just going to ask people to do while I make them co-host is to stand up, jump up and down for a little bit to kind of get your energy running. And I am just going to find the team. Where are they? Please tell me that you're here.
Yep, all here.
Martin, so where are you, Martin? Sorry, I can't find you.
Skill
Oh,
Plus.
there you are.
It's
Okay,
Tom speaking.
Sorry, Tom, you're the one that I need to make the co-host? Oh, you're already
Yeah.
there. Done. Okay, great.
You can see my
Awesome.
screen.
We can see your screen and you're ready to go. Is everybody ready? All right. Go
Cool.
for, so we have Skill Plus, Martin, Anastasia, Aaron, Dion, and Tom. Go.
Sounds good. This is my teammate, Anastasia. She's graduating and entering the workforce in a pretty rough year and living in an era where information is not only abundant, but overwhelming. She has a sobering realization that she just can't seem to know what she wants in her career, not to mention the skills she's best to get to learn there. To give her the best chance at finding the right job, she wants personalized and filtered advice on career pathways and new skills. And this year, more than ever, is the time to upskill. The EAT faculty from UQ reported our own survey that most people, they reported a dramatic drop of job listings. And we also found from our own survey that most people don't have a streamlined strategy to upskill, even with so many online course offerings. There's not a lack of information, but information overload. And that's where Skill Plus can help. We plan to use data from sites like LinkedIn and use artificial intelligence to give users a personalized career planner and a skill tree which suggests new skills to learn and where to learn them. For example, given Anastasia's LinkedIn profile and that her dream job is at Google, we can match her to her most suited positions as they are right now and help guide her with a skill tree for the future. It suggests different skills or programming languages to learn and predicts career pathways based on them. Behind the scenes, we'll pull data from LinkedIn and use natural language processing and machine learning to make informed predictions for each user. And in terms of our business model, we are primarily business facing. Our beta version would be free and would generate revenue through affiliate commission for referring users to online platforms such as edX. On releasing an official paid version, we'd then engage educational institutions for discounted mass subscriptions. We'd start by focusing on the software sector and eventually expand, because after all, this is a global problem and we have a global solution. To achieve this, we initially need $200,000 and we predict after 6 years, we'd have 300,000 users, which would earn us $14 per year on average from affiliation referrals, totaling to a revenue of 16 million. None of our competitors are able to produce a personalized skill tree, except for maybe in-person counselors. But a student employability expert at UQ acknowledged that there is a market gap in automated career advice since manual consultation is not feasible with large cohorts. In fact, our research-orientated guidance can be performed on a global scale while remaining personal. Finally, our team of engineering, IT, and computer science students have prior experience in the startup ecosystem, machine learning, and most importantly, we've all been through the job searching and upskilling experience. We're currently seeking seed investors to reach our investment goals and would appreciate mentoring advice so that we too can give our users career advice that is reliable, data-driven, and personalized. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Can we go to big round of applause, please, for Skill Plus? Yay, sorry. Can we please go to Kylie first? Thank you.
Thank you. It's amazing. This is right up my alley, having founded a tech company that does career development. So right up my alley. But I'm just trying to understand the concept. So if I'm a student and I want to work at Google, you then scrape all the people that previously worked at Google to match those skills. Is that it? Because if you look at LinkedIn and you worked at Google, but before that you worked at McDonald's, all of those skills are accumulating. So I'm just trying to understand how the matching's happening with this skills tree.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'll head over to Aaron.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're basically trying to take all this data that's out there and form analytics and decisions based on that. So when you look at tens of millions of people that are using LinkedIn in Australia alone, you can make general clever deductions on the data based on what you need for the role. So you might find that just from the amount of people in certain roles, specific skills that are not necessarily obvious as being necessary for that role might show up a lot in people's profiles that actually have that role. So by doing analytics this way, rather than the basic analytics that you get from LinkedIn, which is just, here's a job, here are the skills you have, here's the skills you don't have that are publicly listed on that job posting, we can automatically kind of figure out what's actually important and what's less important, and what are the kind of the hidden skills and also the hidden experience that people tend to have before they get into these positions that you might not need or that you might need. So another example might be if you want to get into a manager position, you should be able to figure out, well, how much experience should I expect to have before I can actively apply for a managerial role?
Yeah, it's a super cool concept. I'm just really trying to get my head around some of the confounding factors, which is previous experience and also capability. So, you know, I've got a back injury and I can't do that one, but it's super cool. And I think it's a fantastic idea to use LinkedIn as that source. The other thing about LinkedIn is it does also have job lists with skills. And did you think about how that might connect?
Yeah, so primarily we want to look at people's profiles and the jobs they have. We did want to integrate that information as well further down the line, but the reason that we don't want to start with that is that firstly, well, if you just want the information of for a specific job, what skill do I need, you can find that on LinkedIn already. We're not really providing a big value add, but also a lot of the time what a job listing says you need to do and need to have is not necessarily what actually correlates to the skills that will end up getting you hired for that job. So that might be them asking for 5 years of experience for an entry-level role that's not necessarily actually required for that role. So we want to avoid getting pulled into just providing that same information that might be inaccurate and basically letting the data of people that actually work there speak the truth. So regardless of what the recruiters say, look at what people actually do need to get hired there and use that information instead.
To add to that, one of our primary kind of users is people who have just graduated or about to graduate. So a lot of them don't always have an actual dream company or dream job in mind. So what we want to do is be able to analyze their own profiles and compare it to people in the same industry and say like, hey, you may not know what you want to do, but here are some options that we think really fit your skills. And so, for example, I'm in software engineering, but I also have skills in design. So that means that it can say, you know, you're good at design. Have you thought about these alternate career pathways that someone who's in just straight software engineering might not have the skills that kind of match? So we're kind of doing both. If you have a dream job, we're trying to get you there. But if you don't, we're trying to give you options so that you can make a decision.
I think that's super cool because we know industries are shrinking at the moment in COVID, and there's lots of new opportunities coming up, and where you might have studied in one area, now you've got to look at alternatives. So super cool, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Kylie.
Can we just, judges, sorry, we're just running very short on time. So if we can just keep the questions a little bit shorter, that would be awesome. Sorry, Kylie. I know that's your passion.
Okay, very, very quick one then is, this is all based on retrospective, but you know, jobs are changing, skills are changing, skills that are needed are changing. Are you going to use your AI to try and look at trends and use that?
Yeah. So that's actually a common problem with our current system. So if say you're looking for a job and a lot of jobs are changing, it's actually harder right now to figure out what to do. And because we're pulling everything, like doing everything automated, we'll beat most other systems at figuring out, okay, this job is actually having a decline and this is what's happening because we're in a pandemic. Then we can actually just adapt to it quite fast. Yeah, when you're comparing with something like either manual advice from a career advisor or even just regular education from university, what you find is that a lot of the time, especially in a fast-paced industry like computer science, in 4 or 5 years since an academic might have left industry, everything's changed and the content that they think is relevant might no longer be relevant to actually people entering the industry. So that's kind of where automated solution tries to help, in that it can continuously pull data and try and keep track of those current trends where traditional institutions might not do that.
And finally, just really quickly to add to that, because I think it was mentioned before, job listings are on LinkedIn as well. Profiles stick around for a while and they can kind of get a bit old, the skills you've got on it, but job listings are very recent. And so we can kind of take hold of all that information as well to make sure it's really up to date.
Super quick question, just regarding LinkedIn. How are you going to get all the information that you need? Do they provide an API that will allow you to do that?
Yeah, great question. So we did look into this. So yes, the short answer is yes, LinkedIn does provide developer API. So any data that you can see as someone on someone else's public profile, which is the skills they advertise, the experience they've had, what companies they've had with experience at, how long they've worked there, where they're working now. So basically all the information that we need is available through the LinkedIn API. So you do need to apply for access to that, which we've done. So we're still waiting to hear back from that. But we do have a backup plan if we did not get access to LinkedIn API. Another option is always to do web scraping and to just pull that data ourselves. Less efficient, but it could still work.
Sure.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to, Tom, and I'm really sorry, Chris, unless you have like a very urgent question, I do need to stop you here because we do have one more one more team that is waiting.
No
Chris,
worries.
Okay, Chris, you're good to.
I'm good. I'm a fan of it. I love the tree. It's all good. I had the same question you guys had actually, and I think you're going to run into rate limits in both routes. So we should talk about that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So
Thank
big
you.
round of applause for Skills Plus. Yay! And now I just have to find the next group, which is Hello Earth. So maybe you can unmute yourself so I can find you, because there's a lot of
Hello.
you. Oh, there you are. Okay, awesome. Okay. All right. So welcome to Juris Vincentis. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this properly. Adita Maria Prudence Elfila. And they are from Hello Earth. Please go ahead and share your screen.
I'll be sharing my screen, so
go for it, Juris.
Okay, can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
And go.
Okay. Last year, I was so excited to start studying at UQ. Imagine studying together with new friends from another part of the world. That would be awesome. According to UQ Fast Facts, UQ has over 18,000 international students from 100 different countries around the world. And I'm glad I get to be one of them. However, it doesn't end up as I expected. It's my second year, and I'm still struggling on my own. One time, I was working on a course assignment, and I was pretty much at the dead end. I have no one to discuss my problem with, and I ended up not submitting by the deadline. It's concerning to know that from a survey to 90 different campuses conducted by Headspace, course workload and deadlines are the main factors to affect students' mental health and well-being. Looking at the data on our survey, it turns out that I'm not alone. More than 80% out of 50 students are feeling shy to approach others, and 54% of them only have study groups on certain courses. To make things worse, COVID-19 happens. Thousands of commencing students at UQ this year will have to start their first year of study remotely. With fewer social activities at UQ, they'll find it hard to find new friends to study together. My name is Juris, and I'm representing my team, Hello Earth. We are the founders of StudyTally. StudyTally aims to help students find a buddy, look for, or lend help with gamification to make the process more fun. With a feature that helps students find friends based on their major and courses, they can connect with each other in just a press of a button. If two students accept each other, the system will notify them and they can start chatting to decide on further discussion. They too can post their course problems as quests, either anonymously or not. The problems will be grouped by the course code, and any students who answers to that quest will be rewarded by virtual points, which then they can spend to purchase anything, virtual items to make the profile more attractive. The more buddies the students connect with, and the more quests they post or complete, students will earn badges. This will be the key motivation for students to connect with each other. Through StudyTally, students will find their lifesavers for the course, while also develop meaningful relationships along the way. For the business model, we are proposing a possible B2B and B2C model. For B2B, we are aiming to establish a contract with the university. We are hoping that our platform will encourage collaboration between students and hopefully reducing dropout rates. And for B2C, we are offering bundles to provide extra benefits. Students can still use our services without spending a cent, but by paying, they will get more access, such as these three things listed in the slides. StudyTally still has room for growth. For our next stage, we are aiming to establish a partnership with mentoring platforms such as Figo, so that students can still connect with mentors. And also, we are looking to expand our range by expanding to universities all around the world. We will elevate the way students connect with each other, and it all starts with StudyTally. All we need is to get through this hackathon. Thank you.
Amazing. Big round of applause, please. Very good. All right. So because we missed Chris in the last round, Chris, you can start if you want to, please.
Yeah, awesome. I got a couple of questions here. So first, a tip, as I would say to a lot of the people here, just start with B2C first. please, because partnering with schools and universities is a really slow, nightmarish process. Go direct to consumer. Facebook ads are cheap and easy. I'm curious, how far along are you with the build, and do you have any early testers or any early retention numbers? And the other question I had is there a strong single player mode so that people can get in and use it before you have a network effect, and what viral features do you have to get people to invite their whole address book?
Yeah, so currently we're still in the prototyping progress. So we haven't really made the MVP, but we have the key features that we will build. But before doing that, we will reach back to the students that we interviewed before, that we surveyed before, to see their feedbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would like to add on that. So I think in order to gain the market, we are using our current platform that we currently have, such as the UQ Facebook group, like the UQ Stalker place that have many university students. And we also considering the more of in the word of mouth, that we can try to promote our platform into clubs and societies that is available at UQ. And then for the B2C model, we're proposing a bundles model. So for students, they will pay for each pack, which consists of some limited friends that they can connect with, and then the number of questions that they can post on the quest board.
Great, thank you. Chris,
Thank you.
any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you. Sorry, I was writing notes. That's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Time, come on. All right, any of the other judges have questions?
Well, Chris sort of stole my question, but I'll reiterate. I think the biggest challenge would be to get users. You're creating yet again, another social platform, and getting people to sign up for another platform might be challenging. So really, I would encourage you to think really thoroughly on like what would make your platform such that students will almost have to get on board and create a profile there. So not really a question.
I can answer that. So one of our most selling feature is that connecting two students is with the same course or the same major to study together. So we don't have that there currently right now, other than having it in a group like Blackboard or Slack. And most of us are shy to come in front of the class and ask questions. So we really want to accommodate that problem by using this platform. So it's only one by one person, not to a group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I was going to make a comment about connecting cultural groups and with the same interests, and have you considered the different languages that might be able to be provided as part of this digital solution?
Yeah, I think I'll be happy to answer that question. So we think that Studytel still have large space to grow. And then furthermore, we want to also connect students with other interests or hobbies. So it is not just mainly for courses, but also for students who may be looking for friends that are coming from the same countries. They can also use our platform. So that will be our next development.
Yeah, there's a really nice parallel to the resettlement style services as well, that that whole connection that you could gain, that you're trying to achieve in solving this problem. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kylie. Sarah, do you have any last comments before we move you guys to deliberate?
No, all fine, looks great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much. Big round of applause, please,
Thank
to
you.
all of our teams. Amazing job. Congratulations. What's going to happen now is that the judges are going to move into a separate breakout room. I'm going to do my feeble attempt. Please get the third place. Are you ready?
Oh, is Chris going to say something?
Yeah. We need to talk about the.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've just come back from deliberation. I've had to cover up my bruises and cuts because we had to fight it out. It was real close. So thank you everybody for the amazing work and the hard work over the last few weeks. I know from personal experience just how hard it is to build these things and to pitch these things, and it's all a bit nerve-wracking. Smart Stock did an amazing job, of course. There's a lot of innovation to be had just by creating simplified user interfaces. A lot of innovation through just design. So that's a great thing to solve a really hard problem. Brightstar, I think you guys have the right idea around games first, education second. I think that's the right prioritization and can really produce some really compelling content and then slip in some education along the way. 3D Prac Labs, I think if you guys can build towards a full simulator, I think that's extremely exciting, and get kids playing and experimenting right in the comfort of their own home. That's going to be super cool. And Skill Plus, I think building trees to guide people step by step towards their ideal and dream careers is going to be super cool. Oftentimes people just don't know where to start and don't know what the next step is, so that's going to be important. And Hello Earth, there's a big appetite for new social apps these days because we're all stuck at home. And so that's really important, and connecting people is the best thing you can do for mental health. So I think that's super exciting as well. So congrats to all of you guys. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner and one runner-up and one third place. So Kylie's gonna do the honors and share that. Okay, so Kylie, so just a reminder that the third place is going to take home 1,000 Australian dollars. Drum roll, please, Kylie.
And the third place goes to Smart Stock. $1,000, that's great. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, Smart Stock. Is there any other specific advice, last minute advice that you'd like to provide them before we move on to the second place?
The only advice is it's such a cool concept. We've got to get it out there. Everyone is on the edge of their seats waiting for COVID to hit Queensland. So yeah, just keep going, guys, because we really need a solution like that. So congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, Kylie. And congratulations, Smart Stock. And in the second place is, who's announcing the second place?
Kylie.
Kylie.
All the drum rolls. I think that was, I must have touched Chris. I don't know. Okay, 3D Labs. Congratulations.
Congratulations, 3D Labs. You have won $2,000. Whoop, whoop. Any last minute comments to 3D Labs, Kylie?
We all really loved your solution and we're really excited by what's next for you guys. We think there might be some challenges getting it into schools, but we love your solution and we want to see it go further and further. And I think this small little injection of money will help you guys to move on. So congratulations.
Amazing. Thank you. Big round of applause. And last but not least, the first place of a grand total of $7 dollar bills goes to...
It's Skills Plus.
Woo! Congratulations, Skills Plus.
Guys, we all really loved your solution. We fought over the ideas that you brought. We gave you some really challenging questions and we thought your pitch and your responses were spot on. So $7,000 to that seed investment, it's, you know, I calculate it to about 3% of what you need.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Amazing job. Thank you so much to our judges. Big round of applause for our judges. Big round of applause to our teams. And I just want to say personally a massive, big round of applause, please, to all of the support team who are running around doing amazing things behind the scenes and are making this experience an amazing experience for everybody involved. And there are too many people to mention, but I can tell you that there are a lot of people involved. So big thank you. And thank you to Nimrod, also the head of ventures. Nimrod, did you want to say anything, last words?
Thank you. No.
Okay.
No, no. So thank you so much. I personally really enjoyed the 3 weeks. I met with several of the teams through mentorship and check-in. I think a lot of the teams have great ideas with a lot of potential to keep continuing working on them after the hackathon. So I really encourage everyone, like, go and give it a try. Here in Ventures, we give all the resources and support that you need to take your idea to the next level. So use it, abuse it, and go for it. If you don't try, you will never know. So by all means, I encourage you, even if you didn't win. So what you need to win, it's the customer competition. Get customers that will pay for your product, your services that you are building. And believe me, you will be very happy with that. And thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Nimrod, and thank you to everyone. Just a reminder that the Slack channel is still active. If you guys wanted to connect with anybody and take it offline, please do so, and please make sure you register to our upcoming courses and events that are happening. Big thank you to everybody who participated, and thank you for being patient with the technological glitches, and thank you for the jokes. And I hope that you all have a fantastically awesome weekend.
Bye. On the People's Choice.
Oh, Skills Plus.
Oh, they're loaded, that group.
Totally loaded.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Perfect.
you. Thanks
Thank you
again.
so much.
Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Congrats, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Heath. Bye.